All right, guys. In the chat window, please type those of you who have enrolled, your email address and the batch you have joined, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Those of you who have enrolled in the chat window, please type your name, your email address, and the batch you have joined. Please hurry up, guys. Those of you who will not type, you will be removed from the class. Your name, your email address, and the batch that you have joined. 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months. Please hurry up. Rajbi, you have not typed the month, dear. You just said batch for, is it 1 month, 2 months, 6 months? Okay. T. It just. No, chat is not disabled, guys. You have to click on the new chat icon and then select my name, Evan Australia. Okay. Chat is not disabled for anyone. Hamad, you're for demo. Okay. Siddharth. Too much. Okay. Otherwise, what batch you have joined, Mohammed Awais, dear? You have joined 1 month, 2 months. What? How much fees did you pay? Guys, please, everyone. No, but don't type 1 month. You have not joined for 1 month, right? It's your demo class. Those of you for demo class, just type demo class, okay? You don't need to type your email or anything. Those of you have joined already, you need to type. If you're for demo, just type demo. Uh, Omar, what you have written, I am. What is the meaning of I am, dear? Priya. Let me do one thing, guys. Okay, let me just see here. Omar, you've joined for 2 months. All right. Either you have joined for 1 month. So with demo, Nikhil. 2 months. Daniel, 2 months. Okay. All right. What about rest? Ahmed, have you joined or is this your demo class, dear? Deep, what batch you have joined, dear? Please type it in the chat. Hamad bin Imtiaz, dear, have you joined the class or is this your demo class? Hamad, you have typed, okay, yeah, for the demo, fine. Manzoor. Manzoor, have you joined the classes or is this your demo? If you've joined, type your email and the batch you have joined here, 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. What batch it is. PC Hotline, who is PC Hotline? Dear? Are you here for demo or have you enrolled for the classes? Type in the chat, please. Piyush, what batch you have joined here? Please type in the chat, guys. Vishwa, are you here for the demo or have you joined for the classes? Please type everyone. If you will not type in the chat, you will be removed from the class in the next 5 minutes. Are you here for the demo or have you enrolled for the classes? If you have enrolled for the classes, type the batch and your email address. If you are here for demo, just type demo. All right, guys, last chance. If you are here for demo, please type demo in the chat. If you have joined for the classes, then type your email address and the batch you have joined, 1 month, 2 months, or 6 months. If you will not type anything, I'll remove you from the class in the next 2 minutes, okay? Joseph, demo, okay. Vishwa, okay. Piyush, 6 months, all right. Just need demo, okay. Mansoor, demo, okay. Okay. Abdullah, Mr. Abdullah and Mr. Ahmed. Guys, are you for demo or have you joined for the classes? Can you type in the chat? If it's a demo class or you have joined the class. Demo, okay. Ahmed, what about you, dear? Also, please remember this is the class for Language Cert Academic, right? I hope no one is sitting for PT or anything else. Dushi, you had for demo, okay, all right. I think most of you have given it, except one person. All right. Let's start with the class. Okay, today we are going to attempt listening test. So let me share the screen with all of you. All right, so we'll attempt it one by one, all the questions. So today you will understand how it is to attempt your listening test, right? I'll explain each and everything in detail, and at the end, I'll take all your doubts and queries. If you have any, you are not able to unmute yourself, please need not worry. This is only for the first half. Once we are done with the test, I will allow you to unmute and take your doubt. A reason I have not allowed because someone will accidentally unmute in the middle of the audio, and that will disturb all of you, right? We don't want that to happen. Okay. Let me share the audio and let's start with the test, okay? Now see, in these questions, what you have to do is, you have to complete the statement. They will say something, they will speak a dialogue, two people will be talking to each other. Focus on the last dialogue. that will give you a very big hint what your answer is. Very easy. Okay. The last statement that will be spoken, they will speak generally about three statements. One person will say something, second person will respond, and the third person, first person again will say something. So this last statement, the third statement, that will have the biggest hint as to what you should write as your answer. Okay. Let's listen to it, what they say.
Part 1. You will hear some short conversations. You will hear each conversation twice. Choose the correct answer to complete each conversation.
Conversation 1.
Have you had the text about the geography field trip to Alaska?
Did they announce that already?
Yeah, and there is a discount if you sign up early.
Okay, three things were spoken. The girl asked, have you heard of the trip? The boy said, have they announced it already? And the girl said that yes, and they are offering a big discount. So if someone offers you a big discount, what is that for you? It's a big advantage, it's a benefit, isn't it? So what option will you select out of three? They need to pay more attention. Will this be the next dialogue? Will you say this, they need to pay more attention? No, it could either be he or she, one person, but it cannot be both. Let's make sure we take advantage of that. Yes, this is something which the boy would say, because the girl said the trip has been announced and they're offering a big discount on that, right? I am afraid I can't tell you. This is absolutely rubbish. Why would boy or girl say, I am afraid I can't tell you, right? Just give me a second, please. I'm not sure why people don't join on time. Like, they're messaging in the chat. Join on time. Why would you be late, right? It disturbs everyone's flow, everyone's train of thought. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the recording again.
Conversation 1.
Have you had the text about the geography field trip to Alaska?
Did they announce that already?
Yeah, and there is a discount if you sign up early.
Right? And to complete the dialogue, what would you say? Because the girl mentioned of a discount. So obviously we'll talk about that. Let's take advantage of that, right? Either the girl will say it or the boy will say it. Let's take advantage because she's mentioning about the discount, right? Next conversation. So like this, focus on the last statement and you will get a very big hint from the last statement what your answer is. Very easy. Okay. Again, they will play it twice. Every time, each conversation will be played twice for you.
Conversation 2.
Well done on the data analysis you did.
Thanks. I took special care to double-check it all.
But your heart doesn't seem to be so much in the lab work. Am I right?
Okay. Now the person said what in the last statement? That your heart is not in the lab work, right? That you're not concentrating on it. Yes? What option would you choose? Okay, I expect it is there now. Does not make sense, right? As far as I know, everything was correct. No, why would the person say if everything was correct? I wouldn't say so. I find it really absorbing. To counter this idea, the girl would say what? I would not say so, that my heart is not there. I find it really absorbing. I find it interesting. Now, again, they will play the audio twice. Now it will make a lot of sense to you. Listen to it, what they speak.
Conversation 2.
Well done on the data analysis you did.
Thanks. I took special care to double-check it all.
But
Right? I took special care to double check the data. Means the girl is interested. It's not that she was not interested. She's saying I double checked it, right?
your heart doesn't seem to be so much in the lab work. Am I right?
Right? And the person said, your heart is not there. You're not interested in the lab work. So what will the girl say? If previously the girl was saying, I took care of that, I was very cautious. So obviously the girl would say that, no, I find it interesting. I find it absorbing. I wouldn't say so. right? Again, always the last statement is what you have to focus on. Next one.
Conversation 3.
Can you give me a quick update on your end-of-year paper, please?
Well, I'm sticking with the research topic we talked about.
So, did you do your summary yet?
Okay, now the teacher is asking, did you do your summary yet? What will you give as your answer? If let's say you are a student and as a teacher I ask you, have you done your summary? Have you completed your summary? Would you say, would it have taken that long? Will you ask me a question? Absolutely not. It means everything to me, I can assure you. Would you say that I'm assuring you it is very important to me? No. I'm asking you, have you completed your summary or not? So what will you say? That yes, I've completed it. This is the logical answer, isn't it? If I ask you, have you completed your work? Would you say me that yes, I've completed my work, it's almost done? Or would you say that, ask me a question or say that no, it's very important to me? That is not an answer to my question, right? If I'm asking you, have you completed your work or not? So your answer would be what? Yes, it's almost done. Child's play, right? So you have to think of the next dialogue, what the person would respond with. Okay. Next one. Now, again, they will play the audio, sorry, once. Twice it is played always.
Conversation 3.
Can you give me a quick update on your end-of-year paper, please?
Well, I'm sticking with the research topic we talked about.
So, did you do your summary yet?
Conversation 4.
I'd say we're on track to hit our history project deadline.
Great, but I'm conscious of the fact that you've done most of it.
The summary and list of references still need to be done.
Okay. They are talking about a project, and the last thing the boy said is that there is summary and some work still left. So if you are that person who is talking to this person, what would you say? Person is saying that there is summary and some work still to be done. Read options. Option A. In that case, I'll go down to this afternoon. Make sense? You're saying that yes, I'm going to get down to it means I'm going to work on it. Get down to it is a idiomatic phrase. Get down to something means you will work on it. Isn't it? The person is saying that there's some work left. So what will be your natural answer? That yes, I will complete that work. Option B. It's just the logical conclusion, isn't it? Will you ask the person a question that it's a logical conclusion? The person is saying some work is pending, and will you say isn't just the logical conclusion? No meaning to it. None at all. See, please don't change the subject. Is the person changing the subject? He's talking about the same thing, the same project, right? He's asking that some work is still pending. He's not changing the subject. He's not changing the topic at all, right? Listen to it again.
Conversation 4.
I'd say we're on track to hit our history project deadline.
Great, but I'm conscious of the fact that you've done most of it.
The summary and list of references still need to be done.
Conversation 5.
How well prepared are you for the tutorial with Professor Tompkins tomorrow?
I just need to brush up on a couple of things.
Overall, you'd say you're on top of it?
Okay. They are talking about a tutorial, right? And what did the last statement girl make, right? Girl was asking, I hope that you're prepared for it, isn't it? About the tutorial that the guy is going to have, right? Listen to this conversation again, but there's something tricky here which I want you to pay attention to, okay? A little tricky. Listen to this.
Conversation 5.
How well prepared are you for the tutorial with Professor Tompkins tomorrow?
I just need to brush up on a couple of things.
Right? This is a statement which you have to pay attention to. The boy said, I need to brush up a couple of things. Means he has not prepared everything. There are some things which he still needs to revise. right? And now listen to the statement by the girl.
Overall, you'd say you're on top of it.
Overall, she says that you can say that you have prepared almost everything. There are some skills, some things that you need to revise. Now read the options. Option 1. As a rule of thumb, it takes about 15 minutes. Is there any meaning to this statement? The girl is asking, tomorrow you have a tutorial and I hope you're prepared for that, right? Will you say it takes about 15 minutes for what? No sense to it. As usual, that's easier said than done. He's not doing anything. The girl is not asking him to do anything. The girl is just asking him, I hope you're prepared for your tutorial, right? Now, see, as long as he doesn't ask me something out of the blue, yes, he has a tutorial tomorrow with the teacher. So, and he's saying that he has not revised everything. So he's little worried that he may not ask him something which is difficult for him. As long as he doesn't ask me something out of the blue. The girl is saying, are you prepared for the tutorial? So what would you say if you have not prepared everything? Yes, I just hope he doesn't ask me anything difficult. As long as he doesn't ask me something out of the blue. Out of the blue means something which you're not expecting, right? Something which you have not prepared. Out of the blue means something which you're not prepared for, something which you have not revised. Make sense? C is my answer, right? Next.
Conversation 6.
Adam in my tutorial group is determined to keep his part-time job.
What? Even with so many essays to finish this semester?
He seems to relish the challenge, but it'll be so detrimental to his studies.
What is the last thing the lady is saying? The lady is talking to this person and saying that this person is doing a tutorial and his job as well, and he's not leaving his job, right? The person said that he has so many essays to write. How will he do his job? And the lady is saying, yes, it will be detrimental for him. It will be bad for him that if he does both the job and the tutorial. So options, you need to talk him out of it. Makes sense, right? The person, the man, he would say this, that yes, you need to talk him out of it means you need to convince him to stop doing his job and focus on his studies. Would you rather I do it instead? Why would he talk to this person? He's not his teacher. See, there's little comfort to be had in that, right? He will not talk about that. They are talking about the job he has and how it is bad for his tutorials. The last thing I always told you, right? Focus on the last statement. The last statement lady said is that this job is bad for him, that he's doing the job along with the studies. It is detrimental, means bad. So means what? He should leave the job. He need to be talked out of it. There is little comfort to be had in that. Absolutely not. They're not talking about if it is like something which is convenient for them or not. Absolutely not. Listen to it again. It will make a lot of sense now.
Conversation 6.
Adam in my tutorial group is determined to keep his part-time job.
What? Even with so many essays to finish this semester?
He seems to relish the challenge, but it'll be so detrimental to his studies.
Conversation 7.
Are you up for coming along to the university quiz tonight?
Oh, I wasn't planning to.
It's in aid of the Children's Hospital. It's a really good cause.
Okay. The girl asked that there's a quiz tonight, that will you join us, right? The person said, I'm not sure about it, right? And then the girl said, it's for a noble cause, right? It's for a good thing. Will the person ask this girl, are you going for good? She's the person who is talking about the quiz, that yes, there is a quiz. Why would the boy ask her? Right? B, in that case, count me in. Yes. Makes little sense, right? That yes, he would say that because it is for a good reason, yes, you can count me in, right? This is something which I would like to do, right? Last one, there is no clear basis. This is absolutely rubbish. One statement is always just rubbish statement. No meaning to it, right? Why would you talk about any basis or clear basis? No sense. Now listen to it again. It will make sense.
Conversation 7.
Are you up for coming along to the university quiz tonight?
Oh, I wasn't planning to.
It's in aid of the Children's Hospital. It's a really good cause.
Right? Makes sense? Now B. In that case, count me in. That yes, because it's for a good cause, it's for a noble deed, I would definitely like to participate. I would definitely like to come with you. Right? If you have any doubt, please keep on writing the question number. I will discuss that again, okay, once we complete the test, right? Let's move on to the next part here now. Okay, so in this one, let me zoom it in so that it is easy for you to read. Okay, so they're saying you will hear 5 conversations. Listen to the conversation and answer the question. Choose a correct answer. You will hear each conversation twice. Same thing what we know, right? So conversation 1, you have to focus on these 2 questions. Conversation 2, these 2. Then you have conversation 3, 4, and 5, right? And here, good thing is they're also providing you the question here, right? So you hear a university tutor talking to a student called Jessica. So there's a tutor who is talking to a student called Jessica. Question is, when the tutor asks to speak with Jessica, when the tutor says that he needs to speak with Jessica, options are these. We have to answer from this. Options are, she assumes something, that it is about some unfinished work. She says that she is free. She reminds him that she will be late for her lecture. Very different options, so very easy for you. If I am at your place, if I'm the student, I will just focus on these words. She assumes something, she says something, or she reminds him of something. Let's listen to it, what they say. Twice it will be played, and after the second time they play it, I will give you the answer, okay? So that all of you can also try to guess it.
That is the end of part 1. Listening part 2. You will hear 5 conversations. Listen to the conversations and answer the questions. Choose the correct answer. You will hear each conversation twice.
Conversation 1.
You hear a university tutor talking to a student called Jessica.
Jessica, can I have a quick word, please, before you go?
Sure. If you want to know where I'm at with my book report, I'll get it to you by the end of tomorrow, guaranteed. I'll email it to you after the lecture. I know I should have asked for an extension.
Hold on. Actually, Jessica, it's about more than that. This isn't a new thing. I've noticed a pattern developing, and I'm worried that you're not managing your time effectively.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't realize how busy the fall semester would be.
But there's something we can do about it. How about I put you down for a short time management course? Something To help you get back on schedule. I think it could really help.
That sounds cool. Thanks.
All right. Sorry, I think students were saying my mic was on mute. All right. Let me explain it again. So the tutor used a word here. He said, let me put you up, right? Why I'm saying that. Let me put you down for this. He said, put you down. You must have heard this phrase in your life, right? If someone says, let me put you down for this, means what? They want to sign you up for something, right? They want you to do something here, right? They want you to enroll in something. Listen to it. Now it will make a lot of sense. Two words you have to. One, when Jessica says, if you're talking about this thing, and when the tutor says, let me put you down for this. Listen to this conversation again.
Jessica, can I have a quick word, please, before you go?
Sure. If you want to know where I'm at with my book report, I'll get it to you by the end of tomorrow, guaranteed.
If you want to know. Assumption, if, assumption, right? If this happens, if that happens, assumption, A becomes my answer.
I'll email it to you after the lecture. I know I should have asked for an extension.
Hold on. Actually, Jessica, it's about more than that. This isn't a new thing. I've noticed a pattern developing, and I'm worried that you're not managing your time effectively.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't realize how busy the fall semester would be.
But there's something we can do about it. How about I put you down for a short time management?
How about I put you down? Put you down means sign you up for something, enroll you somewhere, right? Make you participate in something. Sign her up. Just focus on these words, okay? Need not this statement is just to confuse you. Just focus on assume, says, reminds. Okay. Look at her, send her, sign her up. Fine. Right? Next conversation.
Course. Something to help you get back on schedule. I think it could really help.
That sounds cool. Thanks.
Next question is, you hear a student talking to a university employee about her accommodation fees. Accommodation means the place where you live, okay, where you reside. Question 1, how does the student feel about the letter she has received? So the girl has received some letter. How does she feel about it? Determined to find out why she got it, why she got the letter, right? Embarrassed, she's feeling ashamed, she's feeling embarrassed. Confused, she does not know. We have to just focus on these words. Next question. The university employee offers to contact the student's bank. He will contact the bank. He will check the records in the office. He will speak to her family. Very, very easy. I believe all of you would be able to answer it. Listen to this now.
Conversation 2.
You hear a student talking to a university employee about her accommodation fees.
Hi, I got this letter about non-payment of my accommodation fees. Should I speak with you, or this isn't the first time I've been in here about this issue, so maybe I should speak with Mr. Gonzalez? I spoke with him before. I really want to figure out what's going on.
I really want to figure out. Figure out means find out. Find out. I really want to figure out. Find out. First answer, A. Next.
Going on.
Mr. Gonzalez isn't working today, but I should be able to help. Can you tell me what the issue is?
Well, it seems that your system's generating automatic letters to me saying that I haven't paid, but I have. I've got copies of my bank statements right here. Last night, I called my parents to tell them I'd received yet another letter, and they said I should come into the office today.
Your parents are correct. Okay, so let's think what we can do going forward. The obvious thing is to see exactly what we have on our system about you.
What did he say? Where is he going to check? Let's check our system. Right? Is he going to check the bank? No. Is he going to contact the family? No. He's saying, let's check our system. Let's check the office records. The office, definite article, the office means he's referring to his own office. Right? Definite article, the. Right?
Can you give me your last name and initials? And I'll also need your student registration number. Could I take your account details from your bank statement, please?
Hi, I got this letter about non-payment of my accommodation fees. Should I speak with you, or this isn't the first time I've been in here about this issue, so maybe I should speak with Mr. Gonzalez? I spoke with him before. I really want to figure out what's going on.
Mr. Gonzalez isn't working today, but I should be able to help. Can you tell me what the issue is?
Well, it seems that your system's generating automatic letters to me saying that I haven't paid, but I have. I've got copies of my bank statements right here. Last night, I called my parents to tell them I'd received yet another letter, and they said I should come into the office today.
Your parents are correct. Okay, so let's think what we can do going forward. The obvious thing is to see exactly what we have on our system about you. Can you give me your last name and initials? And I'll also need your student registration number. Could I take your account details from your bank statement, please?
Right? The only answer we have is girl said, I want to find it out, right? I want to know about it, figure it out. And he said, let me look at our system. Okay? He never said that I'm going to contact your bank. He just said, I need your bank details. But he did not say that I'm going to contact your bank. Okay? He's just asking the bank details from the student, not from the bank. Okay? And he never said, I'm going to speak to your family. Nothing about that. Okay? A and B becomes your answer. Please keep on writing your doubts. If you have any at the end, I'll take your doubts for this. Conversation 3. Let's play this, right? You hear a university tutor talking to a student called Ned. First question is, what is the tutor aiming to achieve in this meeting? What is the aim of the tutor? To encourage Ned, to stop Ned repeating the same mistake, to persuade Ned, to convince him. Okay. Ned is aware that in his work, he sometimes fails to, he does not do something in his work. What is that? Select the best points, spend enough time, or go to wide enough range of source text. Like he does not search enough number of texts, right? Enough range of source text. Let's listen to it, what the answers are.
Conversation 3.
You hear a university tutor talking to a student called Ned.
Come in, Ned. I just wanted a quick catch-up before you go off on your break.
Oh, okay, thanks.
All things considered, I'd say it's been a pretty successful year for you. Would you agree?
More or less. I could have done better on that first paper.
Don't be put off. I tend to over-comment at the beginning of the course, on positives as well as errors. The number of negative comments will reduce. The only thing I'd say is that you should collaborate more with your fellow students.
You should collaborate more, right? She's persuading him. She's convincing him. You should collaborate more, right? Persuading him. Collaborate more means working with others. Collaborate means teamwork, working in a team as a group, right? Esprit de corps, you may call it, right? Collaborating more. She's persuading, she's convincing him that please work with others, please collaborate. Remember the word collaborate? Very simple word. I believe all of you would have used it. Collaborate means working together. Okay? Right?
I know I always give you the option, but you always choose to work independently. I'd like you to not do that next time. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
That's mainly what I wanted to say. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Well, it's something you've noted a few times on my work, about picking the wrong case studies. I read all the articles you say we should, but then it's like I've got too many possibilities and I don't know what's important to include and what's not.
Right? I don't know what's important to include and what is not. Means he's not sure what he should write, what he should not write. What is important, what is not. What is the best point, what is not. Right? Important is what? If I say this is important part of your work, it means the best points, the most crucial ones, the most cardinal ones, critical ones, right? Foundational things. A. I don't know. He fails to select the best points. He doesn't know what is important, what is not.
Come in, Ned. I just wanted a quick catch-up before you go off on your break.
Oh, okay, thanks.
All things considered, I'd say it's been a pretty successful year for you. Would you agree?
More or less. I could have done better on that first paper.
Don't be put off. I tend to over-comment at the beginning of the course, on positives as well as errors. The number of negative comments will reduce. The only thing I'd say is that you should collaborate more with your fellow
You should collaborate more, work together.
students. I know I always give you the option, but you always choose to work independently. I'd like you to not do that next time. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
That's mainly what I wanted to say. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Well, it's something you've noted a few times on my work, about picking the wrong case studies. I read all the articles you say we should, but then it's like I've got too many possibilities and I don't know what's important to include and what's not.
Right? Same thing as we discussed. Next one. You hear two friends talking about a technology magazine. Question is, what do they agree? This is important. This word agree. Okay. What do they agree about face recognition technology? Option is should be used more widely. They are saying that it should be used on a wider scale. Might be useful in certain situations. That it is not always useful. It could be useful in some situations. See, it's something people need to be concerned about. People should be worried about it. It's bad. It's harmful. Next one. What opinion do they share? Okay, again. Opinion they share means, again, what opinion they have, they agree on it. Same idea both of them have. The articles make you think means these articles, they make you brainstorm about things, right? They are very difficult to understand. They make you think, right? They have deep meaning. Okay. They make you think, they make you ponder, they make you brainstorm. The interactive section is best. So in this magazine, there is something called as interactive section. That is the best part. The topics it deals with have wide appeal. Wide appeal means it appeals to a lot of people. Like a lot of people will be interested in it, right? For example, in today's class, if I'm talking about LanguageCert exam, so it is having a wide appeal. All of you are interested in that. Okay, so wide appeal. Let's listen to it. What our answer is.
Conversation 4.
You hear two friends talking about a technology magazine.
Did you like that magazine? I thought the article on face recognition technology was fascinating. I know some people find it worrying, but it could mean an end to all those queues at airports.
It could mean, might be, it could mean an end to all those long queues that you have. Queues means these lines that you have to wait in. You have to stand in a queue. It could, and then one particular situation she's talking about, all those queues, it could end that. Might be. It might be useful, right? It could mean that.
Well, I'd have no argument with that, but I'm not so keen on the idea of everyone having access to it. Okay for the border police, maybe, but not commercial users.
Right? He's saying everyone should not have access to it. Option A says it should be used widely. One of the person is saying, no, it should not be used by everyone, right? Should not be available to all the people.
So yeah, the magazine's certainly worth getting. It's thought-provoking stuff.
Next statement. It's thought-provoking. Magazine is worth getting. It's thought-provoking. Listen to it. I'll repeat this.
commercial users. So yeah, the magazine's certainly worth getting. It's thought-provoking
Thought-provoking means makes you think, makes you ponder, right?
stuff.
In the other great bit's the blog. Hearing what everyone's got to say about the articles.
Oh, I hardly ever look at stuff like that. I mean, it'd be great to discuss the articles with friends like you, but I don't care what complete strangers think about them.
Well, if you only talk to your friends, you're going to miss out on a lot of the new ideas that are out there.
No, I won't. I'll get those from the magazine itself. That's what I'll buy it for.
Now listen to it again.
Did you like that magazine? I thought the article on face recognition technology was fascinating. I know some people find it worrying, but it could mean an end to all those queues at airports.
It could mean an end to all those queues.
Well, I'd have no argument with that, but I'm not so keen on the idea of everyone having access to it. Okay for the border police, maybe, but not commercial users. So yeah, the magazine's certainly worth getting. It's thought-provoking stuff.
It's thought-provoking. It makes you think.
In the other...
Okay. Next one. Conversation 5. You hear two students talking about an article they have read. Questions are, the woman's initial reaction to the content. Content means what is written in the article. It reveals her. It talks about, it displays her. Reveals her what? See, understand the phrase, okay? Reveals her means they're talking about this woman only. The woman's initial reaction to the content of the article reveals her means they're talking about what it tells us about this woman. The reaction the woman has, what it tells about that woman. That wrong assumptions about the research finding, that she made wrong assumptions. Lack of faith in research. She did not have faith in this research method that was used. Frustration at the attitude. She was frustrated with the attitude of the researchers. The man feels that the experiment needs, so according to the man, the experiment needs to include other variables. It should have other variables, should reach a wider audience. It should be read by more people, to be repeated on a much larger scale. This experiment should be replicated on a bigger scale. If let's say they have conducted it 10 people, they should conduct it with 200 people. Right? Let's listen.
The great bit's the blog. Hearing what everyone's got to say. If you only talk to your friends, you're going to...
5.
You hear two students talking about an article they've read.
Did you read that article about Einstein our tutor recommended? I didn't get round to it, what with one thing and another.
Well, I did, and it wasn't actually about Einstein. What these researchers in Barcelona did was they got 30 young men to take part in a VR experiment.
What did just they talk about? The lady said, right, that this article was about Einstein. He said it was not. The man said it was not. Wrong assumptions on her part?
Half saw themselves as a generic male face, the other half in the face and body of Albert Einstein. You know, that famous photo of him as an old chap with the fuzzy hair.
Let me guess. The Einstein group felt more intelligent?
More subtle than that, actually. After the experience, they did tests to measure a range of things. Like guys who'd exhibited low esteem at the start, but played Einstein on the VR platform, demonstrated not only higher self-esteem, but better cognitive function afterwards.
So I was right. Sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Now, if their views of the elderly had become more positive, it'd be more intriguing.
Well, actually, that was the third measure, and that's exactly what did happen.
Again, the person corrects her. The lady says something, and he corrects her. He says, actually, that was the third measure, right? When someone starts the sentence with the word actually, means they're trying to correct you, right? For example, if you say the color of the car was green, and if your friend says, actually, it was not green. So the word actually gives you a hint that they're trying to contradict your thought. They're trying to correct you about it. Okay?
I mean, if the results can be replicated with increased numbers of
if the results can be replicated with increased number of subjects. Replicated means repeated, increased number means wider scale.
Subjects, the findings could have both educational and therapeutic applications. You ought to read it.
Now listen to it again.
Did you read that article about Einstein our tutor recommended? I didn't get round to it, what with one thing and another.
Well, I did, and it wasn't actually about Einstein. What these researchers in Barcelona did.
Right? She said the article was about Einstein. The person corrected, no, it was not about Einstein, he's saying.
Was they got 30 young men to take part in a VR experiment. Half saw themselves as a generic male face, the other half in the face and body of Albert Einstein. You know, that famous photo of him as an old chap with the fuzzy hair.
Let me guess. The Einstein group felt more intelligent?
More subtle than that, actually. After
Okay, again he corrects the lady. The lady says something and he says actually it's more subtle than that. Understand the use of the word subtle, okay? You might hear it. First, let me write the spellings as well. The word subtle, it's spelled S-U-B-T-L-E. B is silent here. Subtle means something which is not easy to notice, right? Something which is difficult to grasp, okay? Subtle. Subtle means on the face of it, you will not be able to understand something. When you don't understand something immediately, or when something is not just clear from looking at it, that is the meaning of the word subtle, right? Opposite of the word subtle is conspicuous. The word conspicuous. Conspicuous means something which is immediately noticeable, something which is very visible, okay? Conspicuous, right? Remember these two words, right? You can use it in your speaking, in your writing, will help you fetch better bands, right? Subtle and conspicuous. Just some side information.
To the experience, they did tests to measure a range of things. Like guys who'd exhibited low esteem at the start, but played Einstein on the VR platform, demonstrated not only higher self-esteem, but better cognitive function afterwards.
So I was right. Sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Now, if their views of the elderly had become more positive, it'd be more intriguing.
Well, actually, that
Again, well, actually, right? He's going to contradict her.
was the third measure, and that's exactly what did happen. I mean, if the results can be replicated with increased numbers of subjects, the findings could have both educational and therapeutic applications. You ought to read it.
Okay, so that is the end here. Guys, one information I have to share with all of you. I will not be teaching you language cert after 28th, okay? So there'll be another teacher that will be coming in. So I will not be the person who will teach you, right? Okay. Let's move ahead. Listening part 3 here. All right, let's see what we have here. This should be easy for all of you. So they're saying, you hear an environmental science student giving a presentation to her tutor group. All right. So there's a student who is giving some presentation. Complete the information on the notepad. Write short answers to 1 to 3 words. Now you have to use either one word or 2 words or 3 words, right? You will hear the person twice. Again, right? That's easy. Okay, let's listen to this one. Always, whenever you get such type of questions, right, don't waste your time in reading something where you don't have the blank. Just ignore it. Just focus on the blank which you have to answer. And here also focus on the keywords. The register will record what? The location and dash of each ancient tree. So they are going to record the location and something else. So you have to focus on what the second thing is, right, of each ancient tree here. So let's listen to it.
Tis the end of part 2. Listening part 3. You hear an environmental science student giving a presentation to her tutor group. Complete the information on the notepad. Write short answers of 1 to 3 words. You will hear the person twice. You have 30 seconds to look at the notepad.
My presentation today is about a recent study into the number of ancient trees estimated to exist in England. Some of you may be familiar with this University of Nottingham-led study, but for those of you that aren't, you might be wondering why these trees need identifying in the first place. Well, previously, the conservation charity The Woodland Trust and its partners had managed to record the location of some 180,000 ancient trees in England. But they were aware that this wasn't a complete record. The issue for conservationists is, if they don't know where the other ancient trees are, then it's far harder to protect them, especially from huge infrastructure projects like the building of high-speed rail lines. The hope is that any future register of ancient trees will note both where they are and also what condition they're in.
It will know where they are. Where they are means the location, right? It will know where the trees are, where they are, and the condition in which they are, right? Condition. Don't worry, we'll listen to the recording again, right? Always it is played twice. So even if you miss in the first instance, you can always get it again.
It may surprise you, but most ancient trees aren't protected by...
Okay, most ancient trees aren't protected. They have no legal protection unless... Okay, understand the use of word unless. The word unless creates an exception, right? Means I will not buy a BMW unless they offer me a discount. Means exception is if they give me a discount, then I will buy it. I will not eat fast food unless my friends compel me to eat it. I will not go out to the party unless they invite me. Unless creates an exception. Always remember the use of word unless. Okay, so let's listen what she says.
Most ancient trees aren't protected by any policy or legislation in England. The only protection they might have is if they're known about and a tree preservation order has been filed.
Only when will they be preserved? If there's a tree preservation order that has been filed, right? Tree preservation order. 3 words. They are allowing me 3 words. Yes, I can write 1 word, 2 word, 3 words. Yes. So my answer is 3 words here. Don't worry if you miss in the first instance. You can always hear it again, right?
Or if they grow within a larger protected wildlife site.
Next one. A tree is judged to be ancient when compared with examples, when you compare the tree with examples from same dash. Same dash. When the tree is compared with something which is same, let's listen to it. What same they're talking about?
So how old does a tree need to be in order to be deemed ancient? Well, it's not as simple as saying anything originating from the 17th century is ancient. A birch tree, which grows quickly, could be classed as ancient at 150, whereas a slow-growing yew tree in the same wood...
See, understand one more thing. They will always speak a lot of things which are not of value to you. For example, right now what she's saying. So these all things, they don't have any answers to your questions. But you have to pay attention to it, okay? Because if you miss it, then you will miss the flow of speaking, right? What the lady is speaking, and then it will be difficult for you to find the answers. I can understand it is very difficult to pay attention to all these things, but you have to maintain your attention, okay? Because if you lose it, and if you miss even one answer, then all rest of these, you will mess them up, okay? So pay attention to it. I know it's not useful to you, but you have to listen to it so that you can get the correct answer.
Might only get that designation at 800 years. It all comes down to the species. So
it all comes down to species. So how are they giving the age? How do we know how old the tree is? How they are judged to be ancient? It all comes down to species, right? They are comparing them with the species. Species means different types, okay? For example, we human, we are species taken together, okay?
So an oak, for instance, has to be exceptionally old relative to other oaks in order to be called ancient.
Next one. One common feature of an ancient tree, is dash, that is hollow in places. Hollow means empty. Something that is empty in places. So that is a common feature of ancient tree. Let's listen.
But ancient trees do share certain characteristics.
Share certain characteristics means certain features are common. They are the same.
There are often other organisms, such as fungi or plants growing on them. Plus, they may have a trunk that isn't completely solid along its length.
What did she just say? They have a trunk, the central portion of a tree, that is trunk, right? The middle portion of the tree, okay? So that is not completely solid. Means that is not completely filled. It means it is hollow, it is empty, it's not filled. The trunk.
But has voids and empty spaces.
Voids and empty spaces. Voids and empty spaces means it is hollow, it is empty, it has cavities. Okay.
Which may house animals.
Next. Their cultural importance often results in ancient trees becoming popular dash. So ancient trees becoming popular what? Let's listen to it.
Plus, there's frequently dead wood in the canopy. These trees are valuable natural assets for wildlife. They also play a part in the country's national heritage, and some of these historically linked trees end up being in busy tourist spots.
End up being in busy tourist spots, right? They become what? They become popular among tourist spots. Tourist spots. Spots means locations, okay?
Such as the Major Oak in Sherwood Forest in Nottinghamshire.
Next. The researchers use mathematical modeling to eventually produce, okay, the researchers are using some mathematical modeling to produce a dash which shows ancient tree distribution. What are they producing with mathematical modeling? That is what we have to focus on. Let's listen.
Building on the work done by the Woodland Trust, University of Nottingham researchers turned to mathematical models.
Mathematical models for what? Let's listen.
With the aim of predicting the distribution of ancient trees across England.
With the aim of producing distribution, right? So what are they going to produce? A distribution, right? But, the word distribution does not fit grammatically here. Let's listen to what they say ahead. Because distribution would not make grammatical sense. There would be something they would speak ahead.
And then checking their predictions to ultimately place them on a map.
Map. Okay. Here it is. Now it is, right? Distribution map. Place them on a distribution map. They're going to produce a distribution on a map there. Okay. If you just type the answer map, that will also be correct. Okay. Perfect answer would be distribution map. But if you just type map, because distribution and map were spoken separately, so that is also correct. But best answer would be distribution map. Okay. But the word map would also suffice, right? Again, we will check it at the end, right? If they have given map as the only answer or board distribution map, we will look at the official answer key. For the timing, you can take map as your answer, but I believe distribution should also be there. We will check it later.
The team were aware that there was likely to be what's known as sampling bias.
Now they're talking about sampling bias. Bias means when there is not 100% objectivity. For example, if I like a student and I give them extra marks, so means I'm being biased towards them, right? I'm being partial, okay? Next, the reliability of each model was tested by asking dash to survey one. Who did they ask to survey? Let's listen.
This is when the tree locations recorded reflect where people chose to look for them, rather than where the trees might actually be. To combat this bias, several of the models they trialled used predictors such as distance from cities, distance from roads, and population density to help distinguish between places where people are unlikely to have looked for trees and places that really don't have any. To select the model that was most reflective of real tree distribution, the researchers recruited volunteers to...
Okay, volunteers. So they asked volunteers. They recruited volunteers for this. Okay. Volunteers becomes your answer. All right. So we have the answers here, 18 to 24. Let's attempt 25 to 30, and then I'll take your doubts. Okay. After that, we will also check. Remind me, okay? Remind me to check the official answer key for 23rd, okay? We need to verify that, right? If the answer is just map or distribution map or both. All right. You hear part of a podcast discussion about the work of Dr. Alice Gorman and the archaeology of space exploration. You will hear the discussion twice. Okay, as usual. Correct the answers. You have one. Okay, fine. First question. Let's read the question. Let's get on to this one. Tanya points out that when Dr. Gorman first started thinking about man-made objects in space, she was in a job. She means they're referring to Tanya only. Okay. The word she refers to Tanya. That when this person started thinking about man-made objects at that time, Tanya was in a job where abilities weren't being fully exploited, that all her abilities, all her skills were not being used. She already possessed the tools she would need. She already had everything that she needed to study. She briefly experienced a small crisis of confidence. Crisis of confidence means she was short on confidence. She was feeling underconfident. Let's listen.
Carry out as possible. Own about. That's anything from one. So the next. Some of you may be familiar with this University of Nottingham-led study, but for those of you that aren't, you might be wondering, called you've project it's in its focus plus working is activity. The model each square is in 0.7.
That part of a podcast discussion about the work of Dr. Alice Gorman and the archaeology of space exploration. You will hear the discussion twice. Choose the correct answers. You have 1 minute to read through the questions.
After the class, I'll share this test in your Telegram, okay? I'll place this test with the audio in the Telegram along with the official answer key as well. And also recordings and everything will be uploaded in the mock master portal, okay? We were deciding earlier to put it in the drive, but now we have agreed that we will put it on the portal itself so that everything is at one place for all of you. Don't have to search at many places. So that's why we have not shared the drive with you. We'll place it on the portal itself, most probably by tomorrow morning, and all the classes. So we have done until now, if you remember, last week we did task 1 of 2 sections of reading in one class, and then we did writing task 2 and then writing task 1 again yesterday, and today's listening. So all these 4 recordings will be available. Okay. A marathon class is dear. Your next tutor will take it. I will not be taking it, right? I'm here with you only till 26 now. So that will be up to the next tutor, okay? What happened? Where did they go?
And other space.
Okay, here it is.
Today, I'm discussing the work of Dr. Alice Gorman and other space archaeologists with my guests Dr. Tanya Boyd and Dr. Ken Wilson from the Department of Archaeology and Anthropology at City University.
Hi.
Tanya, I believe this story starts in Australia when the archaeologist Alice Gorman was working as a consultant on issues related to Aboriginal heritage.
Yes, Gorman was in central Queensland, and one evening, as she was looking at the night sky, she had a revelation, a bolt from the blue. There weren't just...
Bolt for the blue, it's an idiom, basically means when you have an epiphany, right? Like suddenly you have some idea, okay?
Stars up there. There was also space junk floating around, and some...
Space junk means the debris that we have in space. I believe all of you would know it, that when we launch satellites, once the satellites become redundant, so they keep on revolving in the outer atmosphere, so they become junk. Okay, debris, waste she's talking about.
Some of it was reasonably old and might have heritage value.
But how did Gorman go about assessing that value?
With the principles she was using to assess Aboriginal sites in Queensland. Do they have historic and social significance? Scientific, spiritual, and aesthetic significance. There's no distinction between the two.
At the time Gorman began her space archaeology research, there was no introduction to space archaeology textbook or anything like that. So she started learning the histories of the Soviet and American space programs, and even found databases that document all the satellites that have ever been launched. She thought she was unique in seeing the research potential.
Okay, I'm sorry. I made a mistake, right? Tanya and this person, Ken, they're talking about Dr. Gorman. So everything is about Dr. Gorman here. So this word she would refer to Dr. Gorman, right? From the context, it becomes clear. Okay, I thought it was about Tanya. No. So Dr. Gorman, they're talking about Dr. Gorman, everything, both Tanya and this person, Ken. So let's play this again, right? Sorry, I thought it was about Tanya.
And even space
sites in Queensland. Do they have historic and social significance? Scientific, spiritual, and aesthetic significance? There's no distinction between the two.
At the time Gorman began her space archaeology research, there was no introduction to space archaeology textbook or anything like that. So she started learning the histories of the Soviet and American space programs, and even found databases that document all the satellites that have ever been launched. She thought she was unique in seeing the research potential. However, she eventually learned that she wasn't alone in the universe of space archaeology. There were...
No, sorry, we have to listen to Tanya, right? Because Ken is speaking. Let me play it from the beginning. Sorry.
Original.
Hi.
Tanya,
let's listen
I believe this story starts in Australia when the archaeologist Alice Gorman was working as a consultant on
So
issues...
this person, Alice Gorman, they're talking about. So this she, everything refers to her only. Dr. Gorman, not Tanya. Okay. So let's listen what they say when she first started thinking about man-made objects. Man-made objects are these space junk she's talking about, the debris.
related to Aboriginal heritage.
Yes, Gorman was in central Queensland, and one evening, as she was looking at the night sky, she had a revelation, a bolt from the blue. There weren't just stars up there, there was also space junk floating around, and some of it was reasonably old and might have heritage value.
But how did Gorman go about assessing that value?
With the principles she was using to assess Aboriginal sites in Queensland.
Okay, now they're giving the answer, right? The person asked, then how did she go about it? How did she study it? And the girl responds, Tanya responds, with the principles she was already using on another study about Aboriginals. Means she already had the tools. She already knew what she wanted to study and how to study it. I'll repeat this. Now this will make sense.
Assessing that value.
With the principles she was using to assess Aboriginal sites in Queensland.
Right? With the principles she was using earlier. Means she already had these principles, these tools, these ideas. She was applying them on a study about Aboriginals, and same principles she used here. B, right? She already possessed the tools. Okay. All right, next one. According to Ken, this other person, the boy who is sitting in the podcast, what mistaken belief did Gorman start out with? So she had some belief which was wrong. She started with something, a belief, but that belief was wrong. Let's listen.
Do they have historic and social significance? Scientific, spiritual, and aesthetic significance? There's no distinction between the two.
At the time Gorman began her space archaeology research, there was no introduction to space archaeology textbook or anything like that. So she started learning the histories of the Soviet and American space programs, and even found databases that document all the satellites that have ever been launched. She thought she was unique in seeing the research potential. However...
Okay, now they're talking about it, right? He's saying she thought she was unique. She was the only one. And then he used the word however. Always remember, the word however is used to say the opposite, to contrast, to contradict. Okay? So he said she was thinking she was unique. However, what? Let's listen.
Unique in seeing the research potential. However, she eventually learned that she wasn't alone in the universe of space archaeology.
She wasn't alone. She was not the only one. She wasn't alone.
There were 2 other Australians, and
There were 2 other Australians who were there, right? She was the only one who thought of studying artifacts. Yes, that was her mistaken belief. She thought she was unique. She was the only person, but actually there were 2 other people. So this was her mistake, right? Next, Tanya tells the story of Indonesian satellite to illustrate. Illustrate means to show, to point out, right? To depict. What is she trying to tell us using this example of Indonesian, using the story of Indonesian satellite? Let's listen.
in the USA, there was Dr. Beth O'Leary.
And Gorman started to find deeply human stories behind this so-called space junk.
One example's Indonesia's Palapa A1
Oh, now she's talking about Indonesia satellite.
satellite. It was identical to most other telecom satellites at the time, but for Indonesia back in 1976, its launch was an attempt to unite an archipelago of hundreds of islands with different languages and cultural traditions.
So what were they trying to do? They were trying to present a unique amalgamation of language and culture, right? So this satellite was what? Was symbolic, right? It was symbolic nature of man-made objects in space. I'll repeat this, listen to it, right? It was just symbolic in nature. It was not about international fashion or communication. Listen to it.
1976, its launch was an attempt to unite an archipelago of hundreds of islands with different languages and cultural traditions. So not a piece of junk at all, but a powerful sign of aspirational nationhood.
Powerful sign of aspirational nation. It was symbolic nature of man-made objects. It was a sign of their aspirations, right? Next. What point does Ken make when discussing the need for space archaeology? So what point this boy makes when he's discussing why do we need space archaeology, right?
A space archaeologist's job is to stop people thinking of things as just bits of random metal floating around up there, because they can represent our hopes and dreams, and they're as much part of our heritage as anything on Earth.
Do you share Gorman's strong convictions about the need for space archaeology? Ken?
Gorman's stated that she wants to connect people to space so they feel like they have the right to have a say in future directions in space technology. Space exploration's already moving away from government-funded projects to becoming the preserve of the elites. But
okay, now he's saying it, right? He's saying what has happened with space programs. They are moving from government side to preserve of the elites. Preserve of the elites means some elite people, some rich people, some very powerful people, they are now controlling it, right? So what he's pointing out, prevent space becoming the realm of privileged few. Privileged few means elite, powerful, rich, wealthy, right? I'll repeat this.
Moving away from government-funded projects to becoming the preserve of the elites. But we're not quite there yet. And if we want to prevent this from happening...
We want to prevent this from happening. We want to prevent this from happening.
And I'd suggest...
Okay. Next. When the US Space Agency, NASA, advertised for astronauts, the space archaeologist Justin Walsh responded with how he responded. Let's listen to that.
That most people don't want just the poor left on Earth while private corporations head into space and make massive amounts of money, then we can't sit back idly.
But there are barriers.
A case in point. In 2015, another space archaeologist, Justin Walsh, happened to see that the US Space Agency, NASA, was asking for applications for its next cohort of astronauts. But looking at the requirements, Walsh saw one of them is a STEM degree.
That's science, technology, engineering and maths.
But NASA also state what kinds of degrees are not qualifying, and included in that are social sciences and, even more explicitly, geography, anthropology and archaeology.
NASA closed the door on having an archaeologist in space.
Yeah, but Walsh knew that NASA was thinking about long-duration space flights while never really considering the implications of stuffing a small group of people into a tiny living space for months or even years at a time. Not to be beaten, he started thinking, how can I demonstrate the utility of a social sciences approach?
So,
How can I demonstrate the utility? How can I prove them that social science is also useful? So he was determined to get humanities perspective included. Social science means humanities, right? You must have heard this word. Okay, the subject of humanities, social science. I'll repeat this, listen to it.
Even years at a time. Not to be beaten, he started thinking, how can I demonstrate the utility of a social sciences approach?
so is this how the ISS archaeological project was born?
Yes, Walsh pitched the idea to Alice Gorman.
Let me move it a little down. Okay.
Who was a colleague.
Next question is, talking about the ISS, Ken and Tanya agree that it is surprising. What is surprising? Its inhabitants were so alike. Alike means similar, right? Nobody saw the value of studying everyday life. That people did not understand how it is useful to study everyday life. Life on board seems to have been relatively unregulated. That life on this ISS, International Space Station, it seemed relatively unregulated. Let's listen to this.
Tiny living space for months or even years at a time. Not to be beaten, he started thinking, how can I demonstrate the utility of a social sciences approach?
So is this how the ISS archaeological project was born?
Yes, Walsh pitched the idea to Alice Gorman, who was a colleague. The ISS, that's the International Space Station, has been continuously occupied since November 2000, which makes it the most significant human experiment in living in space.
Or, as Walsh and Gorman have described it, a micro-society in a mini-world.
And Walsh wanted Gorman to study it along with him.
It's quite remarkable that nobody'd conceived of doing this before, but
nobody conceived of doing it before. Nobody conceived. Conceived means thought of. Okay. Nobody conceived of doing it before. Nobody thought of studying it. Nobody thought of its usefulness. Right? Nobody thought the value of studying it before. I'll repeat this.
in a mini-world.
And Walsh wanted Gorman to study it along with him.
It's quite remarkable that nobody'd conceived of doing this before. But that's always the way with these things, isn't it?
They're never obvious until they're spelled out.
So what happened?
Can also say they are never obvious, right? It's not always visible what the benefits could be. Right? B becomes my answer. Where to submit the writing, dear? I will share my email address right now. Just give me a second. I'll put it in your Telegram group. Copy text, LanguageCert. I have pasted in the Telegram group. You can send, all of you can send your writing tasks here, okay? All right. So we also had to check the answer for 23rd. Let me open the answers here. Here is the answer, mark scheme. I think here it is. Okay, let's see. 23rd. See here, right? I told you distribution. So something which is written in bracket, that is optional. So distribution word is optional. You can write distribution map, or you can just write your answer as map. Okay. What I'll do is I will also put this test in your Telegram right now. Just give me a second, please. So that all of you can, I'll do it later, right? I don't want to waste your time right now. Let's take your doubts. Let me allow you to unmute yourself. Sorry, let me bring it on the screen. Just give me a second, please. Okay, let me stop the recording here.